Good evening, I'm Coach Esplancer of the Dallas Staryu, and this is our final Team Builder video for Week 10. And that is the last game that we play in the regular season before we go to the playoffs. And this game does not actually count at all. We are already in the playoffs, and there's no chance of us getting that top seed anymore since Hoopa won last week in their match. So we're going to go into the playoffs as the number 2 seed in our division, and we're going to hit the ground running. So I'm not too worried about this. However, I do want a strong showing this week. I do want to make a statement, and I am definitely going for the win. So let's get into UCLA's team. UCLA has Mega Gardevoir, Hippowdon, Sylveon, Crawdaunt, Slowbro, Espeon, Snorlax, Escavalier, Meowstic, and Rampardos. Now, a little backstory on UCLA's team. The first coach that had it actually dropped out a few weeks ago because he hadn't won a game. Mostly because he was trying to do the same thing over and over again and it wasn't working. And that was basically a Trick Room team. Now, if you remember back during Week 1, that Trick Room actually worked out for him and he almost beat me. We were able to come through with Mega Pinsir quick attacking everything to death at the end, even though it was paralyzed. So the Ryan Plummer is taking over UCLA for the rest of the season just to keep it competitive. He might try to do something similar because he saw that it worked, but I think he's going to assume that I'm going to plan for that. I'm actually not going to plan for the Trick Room at all. I'm actually going a different route. Now, UCLA did drop Skarmory for Hippowdon earlier in the season, so that's a difference from Week 1. But it actually makes him more weak to grass, so Leavanny's coming. In fact, Week 1, that was the only thing keeping me from bringing Leavanny was the Skarmory because I couldn't really touch it. But now, since he's got 5 Pokemon weak to grass and 5 weak to bug, I'm bringing Leavanny. And I'm going to bring Leavanny with the Leaf Blade, X-Scissor, Knockoff, and Sticky Web. With 252 attack, 160 HP, and 92 in speed. This allows me to outspeed the max speed Timid Sylveon, so I don't have to worry about that outspeeding me. I actually could have gone for the Poison Jab, and come to think of it, I might just do that. Because, the reason why I didn't was because I already do a lot of damage to Sylveon and Mega Gardevoir anyways with X-Scissor because they're not very defensive. But we're bringing the Sticky Web because there's a number of things that UCLA can potentially scarf, namely Sylveon, Crawdaunt, or the Rampardos. And by putting the Sticky Web out, I don't have to worry about a Scarfer outspeeding me unless it's Espeon, and I'm really not that worried about Espeon. But I have to make sure that Espeon doesn't come in on my Sticky Web because I don't want that on my side of the field. Luckily, X-Scissor does pick up the KO on Espeon, so it's going to be really ballsy for him to switch in Espeon on this, thinking the Sticky Web is coming, and instead it's an Expert Belt's X-Scissor. We have the Overcoat, so I don't take any damage from the Sandstorm from Hippowdon. I will 2-hit KO Hippowdon with Leaf Blade. Unfortunately, he could really hurt me with Stone Edge. It's not an OHKO necessarily, but he could really hurt me. So I'm going to watch out for that, but I think we're going to be alright. Next up, we are bringing Calcifer. And this week I am bringing a mixed Calcifer, but I'm focusing more on the special attack, especially offensive. I'm not even bringing any moves that Reckless uses, so I'm just going to bring Blaze, because maybe it'll boost Flamethrower if I'm low. Who knows? We are bringing it with Flamethrower for Escavalier, Iron Head for Sylveon, not so much for Mega Gardevoir because I will not outspeed. Superpower for Snorlax mostly, but also for Crawdaunt. It does OHKO Crawdaunt, whereas Grassnot does not. And I have Grassnot because Grassnot will OHKO a physically defensive Hippowdon. It'll 2-hit KO especially defensive Hippowdon. It'll do about 80% to Slowbro. Yeah, not a lot wants to go in. And we're also rocking the Expert Belt on this thing too, to take advantage of those super effective hits. 76 in attack, 252 in special attack, a rash nature, and then the rest are split into defense and speed. And the speed investment right there is so that I will not be speed crept by Sylveon. If Sylveon wants to try to speed creep me to uninvested neutral nature or uninvested jolly nature speed, he's not going to be able to do that. So I have 3 points above my normal jolly nature, just to prevent that from happening. Next up we got Blue Musketeer. Blue Musketeer is coming, and I am hoping to actually set up a sweep with this. Now, before I can do that, I need to make sure that Slowbro is taken care of, and I need to make sure that Meowstic is taken care of because I don't want to get paralyzed. And I can set this up on Escavalier because Drill Run with the Magnet Rise is not going to be effective, or Hippowdon as long as Hippowdon does not have Roar or Whirlwind, which I don't think he will. I think he's going to bring an Earthquake, Stone Edge, Back Off, Stealth Rock set. Because it is his only rocker. I could potentially Magnet Rise and then start setting up Swords Dances. If I set up one Swords Dance, I can OHKO a great majority of his team, with the exception of Escavalier and Hippowdon, and neither one of those will be able to touch me. But I'm not going to be able to touch Slowbro very well, even at +6. So I have to take care of Slowbro first. That is an absolute must. With the Sticky Web setup, I will outspeed anything on UCLA's team, and I definitely outspeed that Mega Gardevoir, and at +2 I will OHKO it with Iron Head. In fact, I'll OHKO Sylveon with Iron Head too at +2. Aqua Jet from Crawdont's not going to hurt me. It only does about 22%. That's a banded Aqua Jet. I think I'm going to sit very high and mighty with this. We're doing leftovers, we're doing Jolly, just so I can outspeed that Mega Gardevoir. I'm not too worried about the Meowstic. And Close Combat and Iron Head are my two moves. Next up we got Sir Dickpinch, and Sir Dickpinch is trying to get back to the league leader. He needs to get at least 2 kills to make it back up, and that's assuming that no one else gets any kills. He could potentially do it. I'm not worried if he doesn't, though. Sir Dickpinch is mostly, like he's been all season, a contingency plan. If something needs to get killed quick, I can bring it in and kill it quick. This thing will outspeed and kill Mega Gardevoir in one hit after a Mega Evolve, so that's something that's good to know. But we have Return, Close Combat, Quick Attack, and Swords Dance. If I set up a Swords Dance, I will 1 or 2 shot everything on UCLA's team, especially with Quick Attack. This is actually the exact same set as I brought last time, to the wire, with maximum attack, 216 speed, and 40 in special defense. I don't have the speed investment to out-prioritize the Meowstic, but I have a feeling it's probably going to be a defensive Meowstic anyways, some kind of utility set. It probably won't have the speed. I could be wrong, but we'll see. Next up we have Physically Offensive Elvis, running the Adamant Nature with maximum attack, 108 in HP, and 148 in speed. And that 148 in speed is just going to allow me to outspeed the Espeon after the Sticky Web. That is the point. It will outspeed his fastest Mon after Sticky Web. And we are running the Poison Jab because it will OHKO Sylveon and Mega Gardevoir. Fire Punch for Escavalier. Mega Horn for just about anything else. It absolutely destroys things because 5 bug weaknesses, the Mega Horn is the thing to go. Doesn't get the sheer force boost, but whatever. And Superpower for the Snorlax, although at full health, if he's a Curselax, which he probably will be, Superpower actually will not 2-hit KO after Leftovers. If it's Chesto, it will. But after Leftovers, it will not 2-hit KO, and he can rest up, and I don't want that. But if I get a little prior damage, then I can 2-hit KO. I'm not bringing Stealth Rock, so I can't count in Stealth Rock damage. I'm not even bringing Magic Coat. But Elvis, hopefully I can get a few more kills on him. If he's up on the top 10 as well with his 11 kills. He's not that far from number 1. He could actually take it if he gets a sweep at the end too, which could possibly happen if I get the Sticky Web set up. And finally, we got Zeppelin. the Zapdos, and we are bringing Heatwave, Thunderbolt, Substitute, and Baton Pass. Now I know that Mega Gardevoir and Sylveon, if they come, they like to Hyper Voice, and that bypasses the sub. But I also have things that can take out Sylveon and Mega Gardevoir that I could potentially, pass into. For example, Cobalion. Cobalion will absolutely destroy either one of those, and while it'll take a lot of damage because neither one of them have greatest special defense in the world, I can definitely get, a lot of damage off of those. But he might be hesitant to switch into Sylveon on Zapdos because he might be wanting to preserve the Mega Gardevoir or the Sylveon or something like that. We have Heat Wave for Escavalier, we have Thunderbolt, it's Stab, it does hit Crawdont and Lowbro super effectively, and it's a defensive set, which I'm actually thinking of changing it to a specially defensive set, but no, I'm not. I'm gonna leave it. But 252 in defense, 248 in HP, and 8 in special attack. And I just need to make sure that everything is, I don't really care about you, or you. And yeah, we got odd numbers on HP, and that is my team for our last week. Now after this, we will take a week off, and then we go into playoffs, and our first opponent will be Philadelphia for the third time. I will have to beat him a third time in a row, which will be challenging. And then if I beat him, then I have to go and face Hoopa, and this is a team that I have not beaten this season, and I will have to avoid getting a third loss in a row, which will also be very difficult. And those have been close matches, so I've really shown my hands in both of them. And then if we beat Hoopa, then we'll move on to the championship, and the heavy favorite right now is the Bhutan BDMs. But the yellow division has so many great teams that it could very well be any of them. In fact, there's 4 teams vying for 3 spots right now. Well, really 3 teams vying for 2 because Bhutan is definitely in. And any one of them could be knocked out this week, which is, it's very competitive over there. But I'm actually about to have the match in about 5 minutes here. I am Coach Esplancer, a new Staryu is Rising, and I will see you this weekend for our Week 10 Halloween special and the finale of our regular season. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you want to see more, and leave any comments you have down below.